let's spend some time talking about tripods, and this one in particular, the Red Mist from Nieload. This version of their tripod is the Red Mist Quick Deploy. It's a carbon fibre tripod that has been made to exacting standards and is very, very robust and versatile. As anybody knows, a tripod can be an invaluable tool when out hunting, when at the range for general use, and particularly in precision rifle style matches, and also in NRL hunter style matches as well. And this tripod from Nieload really does fit the bill. First of all, who are Nieload? Nieload are a Danish company that manufacture, amongst other things, tripods and other equipment in Europe. They don't outsource anywhere abroad. All of their products are made and produced in Europe, in Denmark. This particular tripod and others in the line have been built based on feedback and input from real world use with the United States Marine Corps. So you can really expect that these tripods have got a lot of good features on them and have been made to those exacting standards. So a little bit about this particular tripod in the range of Nieload tripods. This is called the Quick Deploy because it comes with 2 leg sections only. You can extend the tripod to a significant height. That's it. It's at its greatest extension, and then if you close down the legs, you come back to this height that I had already displayed. You can, however, spread out the legs on this tripod. You've got very quick and easy to use locking mechanism here, just near the ball head of the tripod, that enable you to extend the legs into a second position if you wish, and obviously all 3 legs can go into this position so that you can get the tripod down lower to the ground, or indeed you can go even lower by deploy the leg completely horizontal with the ball head, well, almost horizontal with the ball head. Now, why might that be important? Well, let's say that you need to set up a spotting scope or your binos or even a rifle at a particular on particularly uneven terrain when you're shooting out in the field. Well, this would enable you to stabilize the tripod very easily, making sure that you're maintaining that level position of the ball head. That being said, let me just put this back to its normal position. Got these legs tightened up nice and stiff, because when you're at precision rifle matches and you're moving about on a stage, what you don't want is for the legs to be collapsing in on themselves. So once you've got the tripod in the position that you want it, you can then make further adjustments to your spotting scope and rifle by just moving the ball head, which has a very, very simple locking mechanism here. You just push down to lock, lift up to unlock the ball head of the tripod. You've also got at the top of the tripod this 2 or 3 position clamp. The first position is fully open, and that enables you to lift on and off whatever it is that you're mounting to the tripod. You can then set it to the second position, which will not allow you to lift on and off the item, and therefore preventing it from actually toppling off the tripod. The clamp will still hold it in place, but it does mean that you can slide the item forward or backwards to remove it from the tripod. And then the final position is fully locking down the item on top of that ball head in the clamp. And you do actually have a wheel here, a tightening wheel, just to make sure that you get the right adjustment for whatever the item is that you're putting on the tripod. Again, keeping with the theme of this being a very versatile tripod, you've got a Picatinny clamp incorporated into an Arca clamp as well. So whether you're running a Picatinny rail or an Arca rail, you can quite easily attach both to the top of this tripod. Okay, moving down from the top of the tripod, will just be able to see here, we also have a three-pronged hook for hanging things from. I will occasionally hang my weather meter from here, just to make sure that it's readily accessible, and I also like to keep it out of the sun, and I can do that with the way that I set up this tripod. And you could also hang things like rucksack from here. You could hang a bag to keep the tripod nice and stable if you're maybe operating in strong winds, in those adverse conditions that we often encounter. I choose for precision rifle matches and when I'm hunting to actually put a cold tack hammock on the tripod, which is strapped onto each leg here, and that gives me a little bit of a workstation here, and it also means that if I do want to stabilize the tripod, I can take my Celtic Precision shooting bag, which is glass filled, and I can place that in there just to stabilize the tripod. It's also handy just to drop things in there when they're not in use, but knowing that they're then easily at hand when you need them. I've also got on the side of the tripod here a small pouch that I can drop various items into, whether that's a bottle if I want to put a drink in there, or other small items that I just want to have readily accessible. So like I said, this is a carbon fibre construction, so although it is very, very robust and very, very strong, it's going to take the weight of the heaviest rifles. It is fairly lightweight at just about 1.5 kilograms. So yeah, easy to carry in the field, and it matches on the range. Now, because the legs are only in two sections, you're not able to collapse down the tripod into a smaller height to enable you to carry it more effectively. But that's a trade-off between versatility in certain shooting conditions and your ability to carry the tripod. But what I have found is, even with the two leg sections and ultimately having a tripod that is of this height, I can still very easily strap this onto a backpack, carry it in the hand, and to move easily around the field and around the range with it. I'll talk a little bit about why I went with the quick deploy, the two-leg tripod, in a little while though. The tripod has, as well as the carbon fibre legs, all other items on it, like, for example, these locking rings here. These are all aluminium machined, and this tripod is completely strippable. You can take it apart completely, clean it all down, get the dust, get the moisture out of it, and it means that maintenance is very easy, and therefore you shouldn't expect to have any parts of this tripod failing on you if you are keeping on top of it. Everything that you see is a standardized M15 by 1 thread. So if you want to replace legs, change things out, change the configuration of the tripod, which we'll talk a little bit about in a moment, that's very easily achieved because everything's standardized. Okay, just looking at my notes here, I think the only thing that I need to cover off before I just describe some of the functionality of this tripod a little bit further is that the tripod comes with two types of feet. You get these standard rubber feet, which I've been using to date. I've been using this tripod now for over 6 months, both here in the UK and in Colorado at the IPRF World Championships, and the rubber feet have served me perfectly. Despite all the use that they've been getting, they're showing very, very little signs of wear. They're almost like new. But then if you're shooting on particularly tricky terrain, such as really soft boggy ground, or where you need to really dig the tripod feet into the ground so that the tripod can't move about, or maybe you're shooting in snow and you need to make sure that the tripod doesn't sink into the snow and sits on top of it. They do actually come with these, I believe they're steel crown feet, which again, rubber ones just screw off, these screw back on, and you've got a second option there for your tripod feet. Again, M15 by 1 screws, so everything can be changed around on the tripod as you see fit, and it also comes with the required Allen keys for you to maintain the tripod. So the configuration that I have when I'm hunting is as you see it now, and if I just extend the legs out and bring the tripod down off the bench and onto the floor, I'll be able to show you this in a bit more detail. So as you can see, there's only 2 leg sections, so it's one quick adjustment for each leg to be able to get the tripod to its required height. And I do have the stock for my B14R. Obviously, I took the B14R out the other day and put it into the MDT chassis. If you want to see that video, please go back about a week or so and you'll be able to watch that video. But when I'm out hunting rabbits or maybe on the foxes, then my B14R 22LR will sit inside this stock. And again, I can just drop that very easily onto the top of the tripod. And that's not going to move. That's perfectly held in place. And then if I want to manipulate the rifle, I can just loosen off the ball head, manipulate the rifle wherever I need it. And once I've got it in the desired position, I can just lock it off and it's in place. Now, as I was explaining, there's 3 positions on the clamp. This is fully locked down. What I can also do is just I just need to tighten it up because I had a different rifle on here the other day, so just need to tighten it up for this one. So that's nice and tight now. So if I just move it to that next position, as you can see, the rifle will not come off the clamp. Okay, but it will not fall off, but I can slide it off. So that's just a bit of a safety feature. You just got to make sure that you've got the clamp tightened to the right level first before you attempt that. And then I can also move it to the final position and just lift that off completely. Now what I've got on the bottom of this rifle is a Salmon River Arca and Picatinny combination mount that I mounted onto this stock using the existing 2 sling stud positions. And this does come, and so I was demonstrating that with the Arca clamp in place, but you can also, like I say, on this particular clamp, you can also put it on the Picatinny clamp as well. So that's using the Picatinny and then moving over to the Arca. So very flexible in terms of whatever setup you've got currently on your rifle. Now, as you'll notice, this rail is quite forward on the forehead end. So there is a lot of weight at the back of the rifle, but I've had absolutely no problems with this ball head being able to take the weight of that. No problems whatsoever. And if I just swap that out for my B14R, which is now in an MDT Elite chassis, I mean, this is a heavy rifle. But again, lock it in. That ball head's going nowhere, the rifle's going nowhere, I'm not going to get any slippage on it. And again, I can just move it around to whatever position I want and just lock that down. I can loosen off the clamp, but loosen it off to the point that, let me just lock that ball head down, but loosen it off to the point where, again, it's not going to fall off the clamp. But that now enables me to slide the rifle back and forth on the clamp to whatever position I need to put the rifle in. So again, extremely, extremely versatile. Now when I'm shooting a precision rifle match, I won't have the rifle on top of this. I will actually have my, if I can get it out of the bag, I will actually have my TOM table, tack table from Jackal Firearms. That will actually sit in the clamp. Okay, again, that's just slightly different tolerance, so you just use the wheel just to tighten that down. And I've now got, when I combine it with my Sharps Mountain workstation here, this just clips on around the tripod. This was the setup I was using in America for the World Championships. I've now got on my tripod, I've got my workstation, writing out my dope cards, checking my course of fire, checking my weather meter. All my pens are here. Little talc bottle, little spray to check the wind distance, chamber flags, all the little bits and bobs that you might need when you're at a precision rifle match, getting ready for a stage. With my binos on top for ranging and seeing what's happening downrange when other people are shooting, just so I can get a feel for the wind, checking mirage and so on. And then the little mount here that I covered off in one of my other videos a couple of weeks ago, where I can position my iPhone so that I've got my ballistic solver here, and I can also turn the elevation of that iPhone around, the orientation of that iPhone, so that I can then use it to record myself shooting on stages. Like I said, drop my bag in the caddy here, so that's ready to go, and can also make sure that the tripod doesn't fall over in the wind. And I can put a bottle of water or other bits and bobs in here. Don't know if you saw my video from the rain the other day when we had a particularly rainy day. I had also attached an umbrella, just strapped an umbrella to the side of the tripod and had that sitting over the whole workstation as such, just to keep the rain off. So again, the tripod is very, very versatile, and again, I wouldn't have it set up like this when I'm out hunting, but certainly when I'm at a precision rifle match, this works very, very effectively for me. Now, precision rifle matches, you're not potentially going to be walking very far with your tripod, and you don't have to deploy your tripod every time you get to a stage. You may choose to use the tripod for a rear support, in which case, as you can see, I can just quickly drop the binos, drop the workstation, take the bag off the tripod, and that's ready to go now to act as a rear support. Very rarely do I need to take off the cold tack hammock when I'm using this for rear support. It really doesn't get in the way. But if I ever felt like the stage heights were at a certain height where this might get in the way, then yeah, of course, I'd just quickly take that off. But there are other types of competition, and NRL Hunter is one of those competitions where you are going to use your tripod on most stages. You're going to use it first of all for finding the targets and ranging them, and then secondly, when you then go up to shoot, you may need to shoot off the tripod, or you may need to use it for a support. And in NRL Hunter matches, you have to deploy your tripod on the stage. So everything has to be in its collapsed position, everything has to be carried. You walk up onto the stage, and then you have to set yourself up ready to shoot the stage. Okay, so if I was shooting an NRL Hunter match, and I do have plans to, hopefully if this gets started in the UK, fingers crossed it's coming next year, or some format of Hunter match, if not necessarily NRL Hunter, what I'm hoping is that this tripod, well, I know this tripod is going to serve me very well in that situation as well. First of all, it's quick deploy. Okay, so I don't have to spend too much time unscrewing numerous sections on each of the legs. It's just 3 turns for each leg, 3 turns just to tighten everything up. But what I can do, which is an awesome feature of this tripod that makes it just incredibly versatile. If I just undo these straps, and what I may do, if this takes a little bit too long, is just pause the video at this stage and come back once I've unloosened this hammock. That'll be, I guess you could say, that would be a Blue Peter, look what we prepared earlier moment. Not everybody watching this video is going to know what Blue Peter is, and that's me probably showing my age as well. But let's just get this undone. Yeah, when I was in Colorado with this tripod, and I think I've mentioned this on the channel before, dealing with the dust was a massive issue, and you do hear about tripods going down because dust gets into the joints in the legs. and can seize them up and can indeed damage them to the point where the parts need to be replaced. But really, with this tripod, at the end of each day, just so easy, even during the match, so easy just to take the leg sections apart, give them a wipe down with a bit of a cloth to get all the excess dust off, and you're ready to go again. So with this tripod, what you can do, you've got a locking collar at the top here. We unscrew the locking collar, and then we simply, again with the M15x1 screws, we can take off each of the legs. Now I'm only going to do one leg to demonstrate this. Good long screws on this. I mean, you know, when they lock in, there's no movement in them whatsoever, no play. And of course, these locking collars go down tight on there and just make sure that nothing's gonna come apart. So let me just balance the tripod there. So as you can see, you've got the male section here and the female section here, and you've got some plastic sleeves around here that's just protecting the carbon fibre and whatnot. But then at this end here, you can very quickly unscrew the foot. If I take one of the Allen keys, very considerately, holes have been machined. You can, by the way, use these as spikes if you wanted to. I mean, I don't think I'd ever need to use the spikes on here. They are shaped to be used as a spike. I think if you're using these feet, you're going to get enough purchase on the ground. But you do have that option to just take off the rubber foot, not attach another foot, and then you've got that spike there. All of these items come with O-rings, just to make sure that you don't get any significant water penetration into the internals. But once that's taken off, you then simply just turn the leg the other way around. Everything's M15 by 1. So you can just position that on the screw upside down. The leg's now upside down. Now this might look a little bit odd because you've got the thinner part of the leg at the top, and typically the thinner part of the leg on a tripod is towards the ground. But these are such chunky legs anyway. You've got no concerns there with the functionality. Just lock down the locking collar. On the other end, just want to make sure I can get in here. On the other end, you can now attach a foot. So let's just take one of these very aggressive steel crown feet. Tighten that on. Again, you can really get that on nice and tight because you've got holes in the feet where you can put your supplied Allen key inside there and get some torque on it to hold it down. So what I've now got is one of the legs, and you can set all three up like this, that's inverted. So the way this works, the way that this brings such an advantage. Now you've already got an advantage with the quick deploy because you've only got two leg sections. But if I want to deploy this tripod now on the leg that is not inverted, I just give a half turn and I pull out the leg to the desired length. But as you can see, I'm having to work that down before then locking it off. And again, half to unlock, half a turn to lock. It's really quick, really simple. And then when I want to put it away, I've got to... But with the other leg that I've inverted, the locking collar is now at the top. Nearly confused, I was looking for it there. The locking collar is now at the top. You just turn it again, that half turn, and now the leg just goes to exactly, rather than feeding it out, I'm now able to just leave my hand on the leg and move it to the desired height. and then half a turn to lock it off. So again, and you turn it in the opposite direction now. So, but again, it's half a turn to unlock, move it to wherever you want it, half a turn to lock. Which is just, when you're on the clock, these seconds that you can save with these sorts of easy adjustments, are going to feed so much more into your success on those stages. And if you wanted to leave it in this configuration for when you're out hunting, even when you're at a precision rifle match, you can leave it in this configuration. You've just got to bear in mind that the way that I had the tripod set up, I couldn't now put a caddy, a hammock, on these 3 legs, because the hammock's going to be attached to this leg. The only way I'd now be able to do that is if I was to unlock it, bring this leg down, put the hammock on, and then make sure that the leg only ever collapsed to that position. So absolutely, fantastic feature of the Nieload, the fact that you're able to invert the leg and get that extra speed of deployment. It truly does live up to its name in terms of being the tripod that you can deploy quickly, the quick deploy. Now, one other thing that I absolutely adore, and I mean adore, about this tripod is the carry case that it comes in. So let me just get this up off the ground to show you. This is the tripod's carry case, okay? It's got 2 handles here that enable you to hang the carry case over the seats, the front 2 seats of your car, of your truck. Okay, so imagine where I'm stood, you've got the headrests here, and facing to the back of the car, you hang this bag over the back seats of the car. What that means then is that when you're out to go hunting, or you're going to the range and you've got your tripod inside the bag, you can, and as you can see, one of the other things that I do keep in here is my umbrella, but you can very easily just open up the back door of the car, of your truck, and just slide out. There's zips down each side to keep everything in place while you're driving. Just slide out your tripod. So come around to the car, grab the tripod, slide it out, and the tripod is ready to go. If I'm at the range and it's a wet day, slide my umbrella out, that's ready to go as well. But inside here, there's actually 2 compartments. And this is like the real benefit of this bag. You've then got a place where you can just slide out your rifle as well. You can just turn up at your hunting ground, grab your tripod out of the bag, grab your rifle out of the bag, and you're ready to go. And in here, I'd keep maybe my binos. Well, I do keep my binos in here. You saw how I had them set up. They were actually, when I picked them off the floor, they were actually in this pocket. In this pocket, what have I got in here? A couple of magazines. Got the moderator that will be going on this rifle. Got some ammunition as well. That's in there. In here, I've got sling for the rifle. Small tool, that's my fix-it sticks, and then I always keep the spare parts and the tools specific for the tripod in the bag here as well. So that is an overview of the Nieload Red Mist Quick Deploy. Like I say, I use it for hunting, I use it for precision rifle matches. Hopefully next year I'll use it for hunter, NRL hunter style matches as well. It really is a robust tripod, feature rich, very easy to use and manipulate, very versatile in terms of its uses, especially when you combine it with different accessories, with different items to use on it. And yeah, and it comes with this fantastic bag, which just makes getting it in and out of your car, along with all the other equipment associated with it, just a pleasure. So like I say, check out Nieload, Danish company. Everything's made in Europe. They do seek feedback, and products are developed in line with industry experts as well, such as, like I said, this particular tripod has been trial tested and had product design input from the United States Marine Corps. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll no doubt be talking about the tripod again at some point in the future in some other videos. So I'd really appreciate it if you enjoyed this content, to give it a thumbs up, and to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and make an effort to get out at least a video every 1 to 2 weeks. And if you've got any questions, please go to the comment section, drop your question or just a comment in there, and I always make sure that I respond back to every question and comment. Catch you later.